The pistol cracks. A single shot rings out on the cold Stockholm street, then a second. The man stumbles, clutching his side, falling onto the pavement as his wife screams. The assailant flees into the darkness, leaving behind a scene of unspeakable chaos and a nation forever changed. But to truly understand this pivotal moment, and the decades of speculation that follow, we must rewind. We must go back to a time before the shots, before the terror, to the heart of a society that believed itself immune. February 1986. Sweden was a nation governed by Prime Minister Olof Palme, a charismatic, often controversial leader. He was known globally for his strong anti-apartheid stance and criticisms of both superpowers, placing him firmly on the international stage. This was a country where politicians often walked freely, without bodyguards, a testament to its deeply ingrained sense of peace and security. The notion of political assassination was unthinkable, a dark anomaly from other, more turbulent lands. But beneath this veneer of tranquility, simmering resentments began to brew. Palme's outspoken views had earned him powerful enemies, both at home and abroad. Threats, often dismissed by him, grew more frequent, targeting his progressive policies and his high-profile diplomatic engagements. He remained famously disdainful of personal security. On that fateful evening, returning from the cinema with his wife, Lisbeth, Palme had no protection. The couple walked along Sveavägen, a busy thoroughfare, unaware they were being shadowed. The two shots, fired at close range, brought down one of Europe's most prominent statesmen. The immediate aftermath was chaotic. Passers-by rushed to help, but the killer had vanished into the Friday night crowds. Police arrived quickly, but the crime scene was poorly secured, crucial evidence potentially compromised or lost in the early confusion. Only 2 bullets and no weapon were ever definitively linked. The shockwave that ripped through Sweden was profound. Flags flew at half-mast, and a stunned populace grappled with the brutal reality that their prime minister had been murdered. A massive investigation, unprecedented in Swedish history, was launched, but what no one realized was just how long and tortuous it would become. For decades, the case remained open, consuming police resources and public attention. Hundreds of witnesses were interviewed, over 10,000 people interrogated, and more than 130 individuals were considered suspects. Yet, a definitive answer, an undisputed truth, remained stubbornly out of reach. As the years passed, theories proliferated, fueled by public distrust and numerous missteps in the investigation. Whispers of shadowy international conspiracies, right-wing extremist plots, and even a rogue element within the Swedish police force gained traction, sowing deep divisions. Many believed the truth was being actively concealed. Then, in 2020, after 34 years, the case was officially closed. Prosecutors named Stig Engström, known as the Skandier Man, due to his office proximity to the crime scene, as the likely killer. Engström, who had died in 2000, had initially been considered a witness, but his contradictory statements and suspicious behavior were later re-evaluated. The assassination irrevocably shattered Sweden's perception of itself. The image of an open, secure society, where leaders mingled freely with citizens, was replaced by a more guarded reality. It was a national trauma that left an enduring scar on the country's collective psyche. Yet, even with an official conclusion, a pervasive sense of unease persists. Many questions about Engström's motives, the potential for accomplices, and the precise sequence of events remain unanswered. The evidence, though compelling to some, is largely circumstantial and contested by others. Thus, the ghost of Olof Palme, and the unanswered questions surrounding his final moments, continues to linger over Sweden. A definitive, universally accepted truth remains elusive, leaving a wound in the national narrative that may never fully heal.